tourist. He's second in the league in rushing touchdowns.
Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top flight. This game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his leg.
Get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100-plus the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 13 carries, 59 yards.
They've won 2 straight games and have done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. In motion left, that's Reed. And he'll get it here on the jet sweep. A little juke. Always got some breathing room. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Now 2nd and 3. Throwing. Love. That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll fake the jet sweep there. Instead, hand to Jacobs up the middle. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Jacobs. Diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Carlson's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So here are the Lions now as they get set for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. The numbers for him from a week ago. 5 catches, 79 yards, and a touchdown.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
2nd and 3. Open man right side is St. Brown.
Holding offense.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Hand off to Gibbs, headed right here. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. And let's check on the call.
Holding offense.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. In motion goes the tight end. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And connecting here with DJ Shark. That almost but not quite needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you got at least...
He had the touchdown on the opening drive, and that has become a theme throughout the season. If you take a look at where he ranks among the leaders in rushing touchdowns. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The Packers had 5 and 6 to start play. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Wide open receiver complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Let's face it, the focus is going to be, at the end of this play, on the big-time gain, right? He lined up on the left and worked his way all the way to the right before the perfect pass found him. But how about the offensive line and the protection to give him enough time to work his way all the way across the field?
Love. He finds his man complete. That's Reed. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Already, he's top 50 receiving yards in this first quarter. And he's got a first down. Here's Love. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal. Pushes him back big time. And now you figure the field goal team coming on 4th.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Love looking to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Being chased out left. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Alex Anzalone able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it will be 4th down.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And they come into this one riding.
Playing. The answer can be yes, because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
2nd and 1. Throw over the middle, he finds Williams. The 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46. Here is 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Packers offense and running back Josh Jacobs set to take over once more. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Pushes past him. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2nd and 1 now from the 21. On play action. Love to throw. Short throw. He's got Kraft. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Counter play with Jacobs. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
At the 40-yard line.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Here we go on 2nd and 12. This to Laporta, right side. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Out of bounds, just past midfield.
They'll bring a tight end in motion right. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 14 down to the 14. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
York able to send this one through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Well, now he's looking just to add to his totals. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 4. Love now. Able to find his man, Kraft. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
A gain of 12. And the Packers 1st down.
Love from the gun. And that is incomplete. These two teams, they met in Lambeau earlier in the season with the Packers winning that ball game. So if they can win again here in Detroit, they pull off the season sweep. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Off the play fake, Love. Now this aired out deep for Reed. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Brian Branch with it. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
The Lions offense set to take over. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. Counter play. Here's Gibbs. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11. At the 34.
They'll go again with Gibbs.
Holding offense.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Back to throw here. Right side to Williams. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's to the tight end, Laporta. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
4th down and 1.
He'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Gibbs diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out, and the Packers. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play?
Partner, I know I'm supposed to really describe what happened there. I'm counting on you for this one. That was one weird play.
Well, what I was going to ask you, in these situations, shouldn't these guys just dive on the football around the goal line rather than try to make a heroic return?
That's what they're taught, but sometimes in the heat of battle, sometimes that heroic stuff comes to the front when you really don't need it.
This will be fielded at the 17. Jahmyr Gibbs in the Lions offense getting set once again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
A short pass here taken in by Laporta. The Lions Charles will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays picks up the first. They'll drop to throw. St. Brown making the catch on the out route. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down. Back to throw again. Over the middle and taken in by Laporta. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 40. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. And the Lions will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. And he continues to be a focal point of this offense. That's now 10 touchdown catches for him on the year. Now Cade York for the extra point. And the lead is now 2. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send the hits again. And let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not to any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest.
Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. Now Love. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Play action this time with Love. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Lions are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
The Lions now taking over late in this first half. They'll have good field position at midfield following the turnover as they start with a first down here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Here's a 2nd and 7. It's complete to Williams. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They're going to look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. York able to send this one through. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Final play of the half. Love looking deep here for Dobbs. And that is incomplete. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL. to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where you see the final score there. Michael Pratt, strong in the victory, as his guys managed to cobble together their third win in an otherwise dismal campaign. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Chris Godwin, a touchdown catch in the victory. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they were losers in that ball game as they fall to the visiting Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Lions offensive receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown set to go once more. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this third quarter. The second half starts with a run by Gibbs. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2. From the 35, here's a 2nd and 8. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Here's 2nd and 8. That is caught by Laporta. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target. And
he's got a man, complete. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Lions come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point by York is up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Here's Love. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 85 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up first and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Lions are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The Lions offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
It's 3rd and 7.
In motion comes the tight end left. Looking to throw. To the sideline and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taking it about the 36. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
That'll be caught right side by Reed. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He finds his man complete. That's Jacobs. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. A nice little juke. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 92 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. 2nd and 3 from the 9. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety, being able to hit people with a run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Touchdown, Packers! Tucker Kraft from a yard out. And the Packers have got it back to within a score. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Carlson on for the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Lions offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. And the tight end goes in motion left. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Brings us 2nd and 4.
Another run for Gibbs here. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. That is caught, and they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Montgomery. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
2nd and 3. And it's caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 3rd and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt.
It's now 3rd and goal.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. David Montgomery with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. York now for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. A 10-play drive that time. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Love looking to throw it. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well to get a few stops.
Throwing. Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Love from the gun on 3rd down. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They go bootleg. Love. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Lions will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, time, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly. And what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
Amon-Ra St. Brown and the rest of the Detroit Lions getting set for another series here.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The tight end in motion right.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up, and you're staring at an important third down.
Steps away to his left. Big yardage there on the scramble, and gets him a first down.
Now that's a killer, because you think you get it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looks like you're exactly right. Looked like a for sure stop on third, and then the tables turn. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape, because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
They'll drop to throw.
He's got it complete to Gibbs.
He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's fourth down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. Yeah, there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. Second and 2. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Completes it again to Dobbs.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Short throw. He's got Kraft.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's second down. Going back to Love. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And the ball comes out. Love lost it.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down.
Flush to his right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The offense on third down, they've hit 4 of 7. This will be third and forever. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Desperation time here. Love on fourth down. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to take another shot here. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers. Bo Melton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Now Carlson for the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. So that drive goes 8 plays. And Bo Melton with a touchdown reception to finish the drive off. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Packers offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Able to connect with Jacobs. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So they've converted their first 2 4th down attempts, not there. Now they're 2 for 3.
You think maybe the offense coordinator expended a little capital on that one? You know, when you're 2 for 2, you can lobby for that 3rd one, right? Didn't get it there. Maybe now the head coach might not be so eager to go for it as we go forward.
Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And they will take a knee here. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So for the Lions, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.